Let's have a look at how to combine ratios, and I'll show you a clever trick. This is what I mean by combining ratios. A and B are numbers in the ratio 3 to 7. B and C are numbers in the ratio 4 to 5. What is the ratio of A to C? First time I saw this question, I was baffled. It's pretty hard, this one. There must be an easy way. And then I saw it. And now I think this is GCSE's easiest hard question. Let me show you what I mean. Ratios are like fractions. And when we come to fractions, we know that if we multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, then the value of the fraction stays the same. Take a half. We multiply top and bottom by 3, we get 3 over 6. So a half equals 3 over 6. Well, I guess you knew that, but if you didn't know that, you can count the portions of this pizza. Always go down to pizzas in the end of the day. Ratios are the same. If A and B are in the ratio 3 to 7, then we can multiply by 3 both sides and the ratio is the same. 3 to 7 is the same as 3 times 3 to 7 times 3, which is the same as 9 to 21. 9 to 21 is the same as 3 to 7. If by some calculation you end up with 9 to 21 and the question asks, show the ratio in its simplest form, you would divide both sides by 3 and end up with this. We can go both ways. So let's have a look at our question again. The first thing you notice is that there is a B in both of these ratios. If there were no common element, this would be impossible. But we have a common element B, and we use that to combine the two ratios. So first of all, we find the common number, which is B. Right. And the game is to make this number the same as this number in the two ratios, and then we can combine them. So 7 and 4. What we need to do is multiply this by 4, and that number becomes 28, and this by 7, and that number becomes 28. So A and B is 3 to 7. We'll times both by 4, 12 to 28. B and C, 4 to 5. We'll times that by 7. 4 times 7 is 28, and 5 times 7 is 35. Crucially, that is the same as that. So if A is 12, B is 28, and C is 35. So the ratio is A to B to C, 12 to 28 to 35. We can remove the B. If B never existed, there would still be this relationship between A and C, and that's your answer. A to C is 12 to 35. Check. Well, we know the process. Let's just look at the calculations. 4 times 3, 4 times 7, 7 times 4. Well, that all looks good to me. Let's have a look at another example. Similar sort of thing. What do we need to do? We need to find what is the common element, and it's B. That's 5, that's 3. So we're looking at 15 really, aren't we? 3 times 5, 5 times 3. So 2 to 5 times 3, 6 to 15. B to C is 3 to 8, and we're multiplying that by 5. 15 to 40. 15 is common, so we can just add these up. A to B to C, 6 to 15 to 40. We don't need the B. A to C is 6 to 40. And we know, well, I wouldn't change this, but if the question asks for the ratio in its simplest form, we could divide by 2. We can divide by 2 and get 3 to 20. And the check, again, just look at the calculations. 2, 3, 6, 5, 5 times 3, 15, 5 times 8, 40. That's good to me. Right. Your opportunity to show your skills. Pause the video and see how you get on. I'll give you the answer in a few moments. Hope you got on well. Here's the process. Have a little think. Always have a think. What is this about? I'm supposed to combine the ratios. We need to find the common number. So I have a look at this part. B is that and B is that. So I can mark this on the paper. They're both B's. I want them to be the same. So I'm going to multiply this one by 11 to get 22, and I'm going to multiply this one by 2 to get 22. So the common number is b. A to b is 8 to 11. I'm going to multiply that by 2 to get 16 to 22. And b to c is 2 to 5. And I'm going to multiply that by 11 to get 22 and 55. Interesting numbers coming up here. A to b to c is 16 to 22 to 55. A to c, 16 to 55. I'm going to check it. I'm going to look at the calculations. 2 times 8, 2 times 11, 11 times 2, 5 times, yeah, that all looks good to me. Pleasing. I think that experience of this question means that a hard question becomes easy. I think this is one of the easiest hard questions, or is it hardest, easiest? Easiest hard questions. If you've enjoyed this, or even if you haven't, why not subscribe? Plenty more coming. See you soon.